Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Talk About It podcast. I am Adrian Jimenez, your host, only host here today. Ryan's not here. I'm here with.
Joe Brio Powell, I'm back.
He's back. Different camera angle today. We're in person. Usually we did it over Discord. But he's back in town from Canada. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about NBA, NFL, life in general, whatever you need. Before we do that, we got to run up the intro. Remember how to do that?
No, I don't.
We gotta go run it up, and then we'll go like this. So let's run it up.
We hit the jackpot this time.
Beautiful. Love it. Anyways, Joe, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Just got off of work, just been training and getting back into my flow.
In Canada, you were gone like
Just gone for 2.5 months.
2.5 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Last time we were here, it was, when did you leave? What month was that?
I left in March.
March?
Yeah.
And so last time we talked over the podcast was in March. That's crazy. That was that's a really long time ago.
That's a minute.
How was your experience in Canada? Was it probably wasn't as you expected to go, but overall, what would you say was like the highlights, best things you've seen, different experiences from living here?
There was a few things that were different. Like even fast food was different out there. I don't know why that came to mind first, but like McDonald's there is different.
Did you eat poutine? Poutine?
I did not.
I want to
Nah,
try.
I couldn't do it. It was like unhealthy for me. So I was just like, nah, I couldn't do it.
That's true.
'Cause I knew that it was like fries, cheese curds, cheese.
Yeah, it was like mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes and gravy. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Like,
I wanted to try poutine because it just looks different,
uh-huh.
and it's at McDonald's.
Uh-huh.
But like,
So it's at the McDonald's here in the States too.
we have it here.
No, I'm asking.
Oh, I know. It's only in Canada.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So in Canada, like,
I think.
even like when I got there, I went on Twitter. It was a whole bunch of Canada McDonald's like commercials
Ads
or
and
like
stuff?
ads. Yeah. Like on all their bags, all their like fries containers, they had the like maple leaf
Oh yeah.
of Canada on there. So it was like, oh dang, should I keep this as a souvenir? But nah. I think the process of getting into Canada was like different because it was my first time out the country. Just like flying all the way to Toronto, then from Toronto I went to Halifax, Nova Scotia, and then I went to where I had to go after that. I think just getting through like customs and the border, like it was just an experience within itself. Like you had people that were coming back that lived there, that were from there, or people that was coming back because they had a work permit. Like myself, like I had to stand in line for like 45 minutes just to be told that we had to go to another line.
Gonna wait another.
And we waited like an hour and a half, and it was just like, well, I got nothing but time because all my teammates aren't here yet. I'm one of the first people here, so I know my here.
Was everybody on your team from out of the States? Or was anybody like from Canada and that was already?
Yeah. We had we had 6 Canadians, 4 Americans, and then 6 of those 6 Canadians, it was 3 from Toronto, and then 3 from that area. So
Okay.
1 was from Halifax, which is where the airport was, and then 2 were college players that had graduated.
In Canada?
Yeah, in Canada.
Okay.
At the school we had played at Acadia University, so they brought them on. So we had 6 Canadians, 4 Americans. Our 4 Americans all ranged from every area of the country. So one was from the Midwest, which was me. One was from down south. One was from the east. One was from the west.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was like you getting into Canada, like the TSA and the security, was it like super like, what's it called, like aggressive, where they like make sure you don't have anything, where they like super mean to you because you were American?
To me, they were mean to the people that were trying to rush them, or like, you know how regular like TSA is here, but there, like, you're sitting and waiting for they call it customs, but I'm thinking about another word, but maybe it's just customs. But like, you have to get through customs, and they gotta like clear everything about you. Like, they need to know, like, what are you coming in our country with?
They just ask you a
Because
bunch of
when you
questions.
leave, because when they let you in, whatever you come back with can be a value of 10,000. So like, if you came back to the border, so like you're in Canada, you coming back home, they take you to another border control, and you got to pass that, which is what I had to go through, and I almost missed my flight coming back to the U.S. because they would just take it so long. But they ask you, do you have anything of $10,000, or are you bringing $10,000 worth of something back with you? And I was like, no. But they asked everybody that, because if you have, they make you pay like a certain amount of taxes, or they make you stay in the country until you get it off or whatever. But I didn't have to deal with that. But they weren't mean to me or nothing. It was regular. Because I was chill.
It's so weird, because when I went to North Carolina, the security at this airport, the Sioux Falls one, they were so mean to us. It was crazy. Like, they want everything to go fast, like, just so everything gets done like clearly. I don't know if it was because it was 4 o'clock in the morning, or they were just like generally so mean people. They like, the guy, he got my ID, got my ticket, he scanned it. He was nice, but the dude that like told me to take my shoes off, put them on the thing, made me walk through the metal detector, pat me down. That whole process, they were so mean to us. Like, he's like, put your shoes in here, all your metal jewelry, phones in this basket. And I was like, I got a computer in this bag. He goes, take it out, put it on the thing. He's just yelling because it's 4 a.m. Then the dude that pat me down, he was like sandwiching my body between his hands. And then I had face cream in my bag, so they had to like check it. And the girl was like, what do you have in here? And I was like, I don't know, like a bunch of skincare stuff. And she's like, okay, well, we found something in your bag. And they took it out, looked at it, and they're like, okay, go. And she didn't even zip up my bag. She like took everything out, found the cream that was at the bottom, put everything back in, just like on neatly, and then just gave it back to me and told me to leave. And I was like, I hate you people. Like, what's wrong with you guys? I was so mad.
That happened. Coming back to the U.S., I was in Toronto, and that was the stop before I got to back to the U.S. But the lady at TSA, because like so where I left from was Halifax, and we flew to Toronto, and then got to Toronto. As a U.S. citizen, like, you have to go through another TSA after you get off. Like, usually you get off the plane in the U.S. from like traveling in the U.S. You get off the plane, you could just go.
Yeah.
We got off, grabbed our, did we grab our stuff? Well, we grabbed our, carry-on bags, and then we had to go to another, like, part of the airport just to get to that TSA. But you had to get past there, because if you didn't get past it, you were gonna miss your flight. So the lady got to me, and it just took so long. Like, everybody had flew through. It was my first time getting back, like working on getting back to, the States. So I'm sitting here and I see a family, like, they start walking fast, they running, jogging. I'm like, I'm just about to follow behind them. It looked like they going on the same flight, or at least within the same direction. And they just so happened to go on the same flight too. But I was following behind them, and they got through. It was 4 of them. And then it got to me, I'm by myself. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be smooth. And this lady took like 7 to 10 minutes just trying to find, what was it? Some nail clippers. But the nail clippers I've had them since like beginning of college, and I think it had a corkscrew on it.
Oh.
And they were like, or a knife or something, but it was
Oh,
it was a small
the
knife.
one that like gets you between under.
Yeah, but it had like 2 or 3 of them because it was just like it could do many things. Like it wasn't just a nail clipper, so it was like whatever. But she went through my bag just to go back on what you were saying. Like, she went through my bag and messed it up. And I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, what? I asked her like, "What are you looking for?" Like, you're sitting over here like confused as to what you're looking for or you can't find. Like, just ask me. And I was like, "You been looking for this? Oh, you can have this. I gotta go. Like, I can get another nail clipper. I ain't worried about that." So, yeah, people just be taking their job super serious, man. Or they just be rude just because they don't like what they do or somebody was rude to them. So, don't take it personal. It is what it is.
Yeah, I know. I was there to go on a great trip. I wasn't gonna let face cream ruin it. If I didn't bring it, whatever.
Yeah.
They had Sam filled up his water bottle before we went, and they made him dump it out.
No liquid past anything.
It was like
Was
one
it just
of
water?
the, it was like
Was
one
it
of
just
the,
water though?
Yeah, it was just water. It was like it was a pretty big hydro flask of water, and he filled it up before we left. He's like, "I want to drink this on the plane," and then the girl was like, "You either gotta leave this water bottle here, or you gotta dump it out." And he's like, "Can I drink it?" She's like, "No, you can't drink it. You gotta dump it out." He's like, "Is there any way to dump it out?" She's like, "No." She's like, "Just keep my water bottle." So he just left it, and we left. And I think he ended up getting a new one, but it was just annoying. But your teammates, would you say, how do you think that went? Like, was it expected? Like, everybody worked as a team, or was people was egos a huge part of it, or is it like everybody just knew what they were gonna do there, and they did what they did, or was there like a problem?
I think honestly, like I just feel like all of us were uncertain just because there was so many different things going on, from trying to figure out where we're gonna practice, trying to figure out, what's the plan for today, how are we getting here, how are we getting there. Transportation was crazy,
Where did you guys? Where did you guys stay at?
Stayed in some farmhouses, which was man, it was an experience, boy. I can't say I was the most comfortable because I wasn't, but it was just like.
Wasn't it like
grateful for whatever.
Wasn't it like in the middle of nowhere?
It definitely felt like it, like compared to here, like.
What do you? What's the population of?
Like where I was living?
Yeah.
I'll give them like 100,000.
Okay, so it's like Sioux Falls.
I don't even think that, for real. I'm just being nice with that number. It was like where I lived at, I didn't see many people, so I might even say like, not to drop down so much, but maybe like it might have been like 5,000 people.
Really? Wow.
I was just thinking about like from Halifax to where I was, because Halifax is an hour away from where we were staying. So
the airport. An hour?
The airport, yeah.
You had to drive an hour to go practice every day?
No.
Or would you
from the airport?
Oh, okay.
Practice was 30 minutes away though, so it was like it was an hour back and forth. So basically,
what were your like initial thoughts?
And that was the thing, we didn't have practice every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was too unorganized.
Yeah, I remember you texting me that when I'll get into that later. But when you first walked into like the facility and like seeing your teammates, coaches, what were your like initial thoughts? Like, is this what you like not dreamed of, but like thought of what you think it was gonna be? Was like a huge difference?
It was, I don't know, I guess I treated it like a job. Like, obviously this is what I dreamed of doing. So I was just focused on what I needed to do. And if anything else came extra with it, like I wasn't there to make friends, but I knew that I would connect with people, which I did. But I was like, I'm here to win a championship. Like, this is my first experience. It'd be cool to win a championship in the first year league. In my first year playing
professional
in a different country, playing professional. But it was just too many different things that went on, and it was just so unorganized. Like we had players coming in, like we came in, like a certain amount of us came in, and then we had this teammate come this day, and then this teammate came 2 days after that person, and then next week we got this person coming in. It's just like we got to keep going over the same thing that we could all be going over one time if we was just all together. So everything just seemed so uncoordinated.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it was so unorganized and uncoordinated. You think it was overwhelming?
Maybe a little bit, just because it was my first experience, and then on top of that, just like everything else from where we was living to, travels. Like I said, transportation, spending my own money. That was annoying. You know what I mean?
I think that's what I would be most mad about, spending
'cause-
my own money.
Yeah, it just, not to get into all of that, but it's just like frustrating.
Yeah.
Especially when I know at home I can eat when I want to. I can buy what I need to make sure my body is where it's supposed to be. But like I had limited options. Like I just couldn't do certain stuff just because it didn't work out. So, yeah, it was just overwhelming. Is a good word. It was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Where I lived at, a lot of insects, spiders, all that kind of stuff going on. It was just an old house. Like we lived on a farm. I never knew anything about living on a farm. I never have. So it's just like
that's so weird.
Yeah.
Meeting somebody and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing on a farm?" Like, "Oh, I play basketball."
Mm-hmm.
What?
And it was like, Canada is a big hockey based country. So the area we were living in was a different vibe from being in Toronto, a different vibe from being in Vancouver where the Grizzlies used to be. Like, they weren't even aware that we were supposed to be there. Like, that's what it felt like. Like we were unknown. So it was just like 2 years to be known, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, it just didn't happen.
And then was your team the only one going through this? Or was it everybody? Like, how many teams were there in the league? It was like 8.
It was 6 teams, but I don't know if everybody was going through that situation. I just knew everybody had a situation that they was going through.
Yeah. And then eventually, after the 2.5 months, it fell through. They canceled the league. I saw it on their Instagram, and I was like, "What just happened?" So I texted my mom. She told me what happened, and I was like, "That's not fair at all."
Yeah.
So, you want to go into detail for that, or you just want to skip over it? Go into much detail.
You can ask questions. I go as much detail as I can.
Well, what
you want me to answer?
Explain to them what happened.
Why
they canceled it so urgently? Was it just?
It was just.
You could just say financial issues.
It was financial issues. It was just like
it being unorganized.
Yeah, unorganized. Financial issues. Not to get into all of it, but just a lot of things that I don't think they expected to go through.
Yeah.
So they maybe they got overwhelmed. I don't really have a real answer because it was never really
a real thing
explained. It was never explained as to why things happened. Like I woke up, like we were supposed to have
technical difficulties. His phone ran out of storage. That's why the camera quality either went up or down. I don't know. It depends on your eyes. What were we talking about? I forgot.
I think we were just talking about the league.
Yeah. I think I asked a question, but I forgot what it was.
The question was about what happened.
Yeah.
It was just a downfall of things that, added up to us leaving. And I remember what I was leaving off with. We were supposed to have a game.
Oh, yeah.
That same day was a Wednesday. I think it was the 14th of May. I think that was a Wednesday. And, we went to sleep. We woke up. First thing we saw was a media report from the league, from Instagram.
Y'all got the news through Instagram? Or like
Some players did. The first place I saw was in our group chat. Luckily, our team manager, she always kept us up to date with certain stuff, and I read it and I was like, what? It was just like it wasn't even that the league was ending. It was that we were supposed to play 26 games. We were at game like we played 12 games, so at that point we would have played 10.
Okay.
No, sorry, wrong. We would have played 11 games at that point. So 12 was going to be that same day, but we woke up like ready for our game. Our game was at 7, but we woke up and the first thing we saw was, next week is, this is going to be your last week. You're going to play your last 2 home games because our next 2 games were supposed to be at home. So it was like, we got fans like ready to see us. We had just came from a road trip, 2 back-to-back games, so we had won. And then, like I said, Wednesday we had a game. But that Wednesday we woke up, got the news, I read it. And it was, you guys will be playing your last 2 games. And then next week you guys will play in a tournament with all the other teams to, get the result of a champion. And it was going to be single elimination, 6 teams, 3 rounds. Not even a series. So
yeah.
It was just like, okay, whatever. Like out of nowhere, like. So
they just like
the league is just going to end next
week.
They
just prematurely just like cut the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
We're going straight to the playoffs.
Yep.
Championship's going to be determined in a week.
Yep. So that was the first media report.
Yeah, and then the second one was.
The second one what happened 2 days after that release. So within 2 days, they said, we just going to end the season. But we had a few conversations with the heads of the league, or a head of the league, because we still haven't heard from some other people we supposed to hear from, but we haven't heard from them. Gave us bad news that we didn't want to hear, but it was news, and that was the main thing. We didn't have very good communication from the ones that were running everything, the ones that I don't know how to put it in certain words. Just like communication was so bad that it made you so frustrated. It's just like being in a relationship and you're trying to, like for us, talking to a girlfriend, like you keep asking her what's wrong because something's wrong and she says nothing. And you're like, okay, well, if she says nothing enough, I'm just gonna start believing it's nothing, and I'm the one overreacting. So let me not think too much. But no, like we couldn't get a simple yes. We couldn't get a simple no at certain points. So it was just frustrating. And then, I just remember working all these hours before I left to make sure my money was straight. And then I was getting to a point where I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable enough to be like, I'll be straight if this happens. Like I just didn't.
You just had to get out of there.
Yeah, because I'm still young too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm still working on different ventures and all that kind of stuff. So, but just for it to be my first experience, it was cool because I met some good people, and then I learned a lot about myself. I challenged myself a lot. I went through a lot of different emotions while I was there, and I dealt with them how I dealt with them. But I believe, without a doubt, that I was professional on every level.
That's good.
So
for the games that you did play,
yep.
I think the first game you guys played, I think you guys lost.
Yep.
Second game you guys won.
Yep.
I believe. That first game, stepping onto the court, tip off. Were you starter right away or no?
Yep.
Okay.
Our full team wasn't there.
Oh yeah, that was when the coaches had to come in.
So we had a coach. It was crazy. We was in the locker room, and our coaches. He rode on the bus with us. He was chilling. We got to the locker room. We was all having our music in. We took our music out for a little second because the coach was talking. Assistant coach walked out, came back in. He was like, "Yeah, I'm playing with y'all tonight." We was like, "Man, shut up! Like, why? You just trying to get us, out of our out of our series mode for the whole
Mhm.
time, you know, and it was just like, you needed to definitely like take things serious because we don't know how certain things are right now. Because our full team isn't even here. Like,
Yeah.
the team we about to play against is full.
Yeah.
Like the whole team they got a full team, and just to come to find out, like that whole team had played together. Like a lot of them players had played together before. They was used to each other, and we were just So we just everything was uncertain from the jump. Our coach said he was gonna play with us. We thought he was joking. He was like, "No, I'm serious." And we was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, cause that's what happened. One of our players from Canada, he had got hurt at our first practice. That we were able to have enough people to have a starting five. He got hurt at the end, at the very end. He got hurt jogging.
Wow.
I think he pulled like a hamstring or quad or something. He had like a full week to recover, but he had went to the doctor. He had pulled something. And it was a strain. He was like, "Dang, like, what are the odds of that?" You know. So he didn't play, but he was there. He was on our bench, like an assistant coach type, and he ended up playing a few games with us later in the season. For the little short season we had, but that game wasn't even recorded. So it was just like,
Yeah, I tried to watch it and I couldn't find it anywhere.
yeah, it wasn't nowhere to be found.
There was no
It
highlights,
Nope.
nothing.
What's crazy is I hit the first basket of the whole league.
Really?
Yep, I hit a 3 at the top of the key. Deep,
Wow.
Deep 3 too.
Yeah, I tried to look at highlights. I tried to look at something. I couldn't find it. I don't know where I was. I think I was in North Carolina, and I was like, I saw the Instagram with the actual league and then your actual team.
Yeah.
They posted something with the score. I'm like, oh, they lost. Where I gotta look at these highlights. Couldn't find it.
Nope.
So I texted you. I was like, "How'd your first game go?" And you're like, "It was so unorganized. The coaches had to come in and play with us." And I was like, "What?" I've never like heard anything like that before. But the first game that was like actually recorded, organized, how was that like walking out to the court?
It was fun, man. Just to know that everybody.
Did you guys do like the introductions? Like,
Yeah, they introduced me, my name. That was a big thing.
they kept saying your name wrong.
They kept saying it wrong in so many different places. Like,
That made me so
had
mad.
family call up to the arenas and tell them like,
Yeah,
"You
didn't Sky call the arena and was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
his name is Joe Brielle?
Yeah,
Like,
and they still messed it up after
Yeah.
they told her, after she told them.
they said the wrong name. They weren't
Yeah,
saying your name.
But at my home games, they said my name right, and then I think one of our last home games, they started saying Joby Powell.
Yeah.
They started saying that, and it was actually pretty cool because I had told them this.
Joby. Oh yeah, cause
Joby.
Yeah.
And I ended up having a lot of like little kids like on the side like cheering for me and all that stuff, and they really liked me, so it was pretty cool. And then that first game was cool. I feel like I made a good impact, but I didn't play as much as
The few
probably
games.
I expected, but I did have that definitely woke me up though.
The few games that I actually ended up watching, I think I watched 3 or 4 of them. There was a lot of the times where you either got benched or you was like an out of bounds ball and you just called everybody over. And I could just see the competitiveness in you, and I'm like, I know him. That's like, I would do that too. That's how it was with softball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, competitiveness runs through our whole family, and it shows. You would always scream at your teammates, not like a you suck kind of way, but like get your head in the game, focus, and then just like directing traffic on defense or calling plays on offense, getting people open, seeing the open man. It was just like, I'm like watching these. I watched a few games with Devin and my mom, Brandon. I think we watched them on Mother's Day, one of the games.
Mm-hmm.
We were just sitting there watching it on my mom's phone, and you hit a few threes, and everybody was going crazy we're at Brandon's, Marie's mom's house, or Marie's family house, whatever. We're downstairs at the bar, and they're all drinking. And we're like, "Oh, Jovial's playing. Oh, you got the ball." And then something like whatever. But yeah, we were just unfortunate we couldn't be there. I definitely wanted to go to Canada.
Yeah.
But just I know you knew that you had support here, so that's pretty much all that mattered.
Or here, a few different places, man. Here, Kansas, back home, Minnesota. So it was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool.
For the short experience that it was, I think it was what like most of us expected.
Mm-hmm.
Just go out there and fight your ass off, whatever. But
yeah, because I had I was put onto a lot of games just from like people that either played overseas. Luckily, I had a 10-year vet. Shout out to Trey Brewer from Cali, but he gave me a lot of game just on like how things go in different countries because he's been to a few different.
Was he the one with like the really long?
Yeah, dreads.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could tell. I was like, this guy, he's definitely played some basketball before.
It's cool people. So what's funny about that is me and him met at the combine. So before the league even started, like me and him played together on the same team and made the league together. So that was the only person on the team that I knew before.
Yeah, you had connection.
Yeah, so it was real cool to even meet him again and just learn from him. Because we lived together too, so we had a lot of moments together. It was kind of like a good brotherhood in our house, for sure. The house that I lived in, I can't speak for anybody else, but my house I lived in was cool. Besides all
the bugs,
other stuff, the bugs and all that. I just can't live like that.
Well, that pretty much concludes the Canada segment, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely going to be more opportunities in the future.
Yeah.
That you are going to pounce on.
Yeah, I'm working on some different places, man.
Yeah.
That way everybody can come travel. Whether it's somewhere in the Asian market or places like Ireland, Iceland.
That'd be crazy. Iceland's beautiful.
Canada's still an option. I just don't know. I don't know what the deal is there.
Yeah, I would say if like they like re-upped their league.
If it was different, I might consider it, but
they just left a bad taste in your mouth. That's not even like a bad taste. It's like I never want to eat anything again taste.
Nah. Nothing against them though. I hope nothing but success for them, and if things work out, then they'll work out. But
okay.
I'm definitely looking to go to a different place after
definitely
put the first stamp on my passport. I'm ready for the second, the third, all the way to the books field. Yeah.
Well, continuing on to the basketball, we're gonna get to the NBA.
Yep.
So, remind everybody, favorite team.
Favorite team is the Lakers and the Timberwolves.
Lakers, Timberwolves.
I don't know how many times I got to tell your brother that, and tell Eden and all my boys, but it's the Lakers and the Timberwolves.
What do they think it is?
They think it should just be the Timberwolves because I'm from Minnesota.
But you also
never been the case, and people be forgetting that the only reason the Lakers are called the Lakers
is because they're from Minnesota.
People just be forgetting that, and my favorite player is Kobe. So,
there were some trades that I want to talk to you and them about it. Get your opinion. Who won? Who wins? Who loses these trades? The effects that could happen. And the draft is tonight, so talk about that too. First trade that happened, Bradley Beal to the Suns, and then the Wizards got Chris Paul and Landry Shamet. What do you think is going on there? Like, who won that trade?
Who won the trade?
Yeah.
I mean, easily it was the Phoenix Suns.
The Suns.
They got another score. You can't really argue that. And then I think it'd be different if Chris Paul was 6-7 years younger right now.
He's 37.
He's 38.
38, yeah.
I think it'd be 39 next year. But the Phoenix Suns won that trade. But the Wizards didn't really put up much of a fight. It looks like they're just rebuilding.
Yeah. And
they just throwing stuff together. But I think the Phoenix Suns won the trade. I don't like the trade, but it is what it is. It's just like too many. It's too many of the same players. They all do the same thing. Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal. They all do the same thing. And then they got Andre Ayton or DeAndre Ayton, and then
You think they're gonna re-sign him?
I think they already did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they re-signed him last year, but I don't know how it's gonna work out.
Oh,
Because they got a new coach too. I forgot. They got Frank Vogel now.
Yep.
And which is crazy because they let go of Monty Williams, and Monty Williams put out a statement that it was hard to first off coach Jay Crowder while he was there, and it was hard to coach DeAndre Ayton. You could see that in this year's playoffs and season, but I think the Phoenix Suns won the trade. I don't like the trade at all, just because I would rather. I don't know why this is the case, but I would rather see Bradley Beal go play with Damian Lillard, just because that's a player.
In Portland.
Yeah, not even because a lot of people had him going to the Heat. I'm just like, nah, it's just because they have Jimmy Butler who plays the same position as him. You just put him somewhere that he can be successful, still do him. Now he's going to be the third option in a different system. And at the same time, who's your floor general now?
Yeah. Okay. I saw another thing with Kevin Durant. It was like he's never going to be able to beat the super team allegations. Every single team he's been on has been considered a super team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the only one that really counts that he didn't like force anything to was the Supersonics into the Thunder. He was the first one there, and then they drafted Harden and Westbrook. But then
they drafted Westbrook first.
Yeah. But Harden used to come off the bench. Like he was a sixth man.
He was he was the coldest.
Yeah,
man at the
like
time.
this was like no beard,
Crawford,
no beard Harden.
Yeah.
And
for real.
and then he leaves OKC to go to the Warriors. That was like detrimental to his legacy. He joined the greatest team to ever be assembled.
Yeah.
And then gets injured towards Achilles, goes to Brooklyn, and he was the first one there, but he didn't play his first year in Brooklyn.
Yep.
He dragged Kyrie over there.
Yep.
Then he got Harden. Then they got Simmons. But Harden leaves. Kyrie leaves. He leaves. They leave Simmons by himself.
What's crazy is that I will give credit to Kevin Durant, even though he's had a whole bunch of different teammates and teams that he went to. He was dragged over to the Nets from Kyrie.
Okay.
But I do get your point. He just played on a whole bunch of different teams. He's only got the job done with one of them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But I mean, he should have got it done with Brooklyn, but his feet are too big. He stepped on.
But there's no guarantee that they would have won that.
I think if they would have beat the Bucks, they probably win the championship. Because that was Game 6.
Maybe, but Harden still wasn't healthy.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of factors.
I think Kyrie was out.
I think he was. Yeah. Because he dropped like 45 in Game 4 or something like that. He had like 2 crazy shots.
Yep, and he twisted his ankle on Giannis's foot.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he was out.
But I think anyway, like even if they lose, or even if they win,
I think they lose to the Phoenix Suns. Without Kyrie, I think they lose.
With Booker and Chris Paul, I don't know.
They were a better team. They just weren't a better team than the Bucks. Just like I don't think that the Phoenix Suns win if they. I don't think the Phoenix Suns get past the first round if AD and LeBron are fully healthy in 2021. It doesn't.
Oh yeah, because they beat them, huh?
They had Dennis Schroeder.
They beat them in 5.
Alex Caruso, LeBron, AD, KCP, Andre Drummond, Montrezl Harrell was on that team. Kyle Kuzma was on that team. Yeah, I said Schroeder. Wesley Matthews was a disappointment for that team.
Wesley Matthews.
He couldn't hit a 3 and then he left, went back to the Bucks and was making all kinds of threes.
But
yeah, I just don't think. I don't think the Nets beat the Phoenix Suns that year. Phoenix Suns are the number 1 team in the West.
Yeah, I think they had like 60-something wins.
Yep.
60 wins.
Yeah, because the Lakers were the 8th seed.
Yep. And then
or 7th seed. I think it was 7th seed.
After the Bradley Beal trade, it was Celtics, Grizzlies, Wizards. They had the 3 team, and the Celtics getting Kristaps Porzingis, the Wizards getting Tyus Jones and Gallinari, and then the Grizzlies getting Marcus Smart. So,
Who won the trade? Are you asking?
just your opinions on that. Like Kristaps to the Celtics.
I don't.
That's
get it.
weird.
I don't get it.
I've seen a lot of people talk about it. They said it's an upgrade defensively from Al Horford because Al Horford's 57 years old. Kristaps. I remember when his time in New York was something special.
I think.
Kristaps Porzingis to the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
What are your?
I think it's a dumb trade.
Why is that?
It just doesn't make any sense.
They only got Kristaps. They didn't get. I think they got a first.
But you traded away your one defensive player.
Now,
I mean,
yeah,
if you
Marcus
count
Smart.
Jaylen Brown, cool, but the person you gonna rely on the most. you trade him away.
DPOY.
And
Marcus Smart.
He's a veteran for that team.
Yeah, and then the Wizards just being there was interesting too. And then
Edit that out, yeah.
the Wizards just being in that trade was just weird too.
Yeah, I think
They got two people in Tyus Jones and Gallinari, which are like they're pretty good role players, but they didn't really get anybody that they can keep.
and Gallinari was he was a big like Gallinari. You could say Gallinari was a good vet to have, but he didn't play. He didn't play all season because he was hurt.
Oh, really?
So it was,
Okay.
they traded an injured player. It was just like an add-on. You know?
Yeah. It's probably because they had the match salary cap.
I just don't see how Kristaps Porzingis is a I don't see his value. I don't see his value.
Yeah,
he's the same. We just saw Kristaps Porzingis play with Luka Doncic, and it was just like
that was a fail.
a fail. Unfortunately, it was a fail.
Yeah.
But what does he do? Like he had a good. I ain't gonna discredit him. He had a good season with the Wizards, so his value went up. But it's like, what defensive anything have you ever seen from Kristaps Porzingis?
Like ever?
Yeah, like that was significant. That was like.
I mean, he had like 1 or 2 years in New York where he
I
was
knew that before he
locked
got hurt.
down. Yeah,
Before he got hurt.
when he was like locked, like rim
He ain't been the
protector.
same.
Yeah,
He
but
just
he got hurt, and then he got traded from the Knicks. It was to the Mavericks right after.
Mm-hmm.
He died after that. Like he was never the same Kristaps Porzingis.
I think Kristaps Porzingis was. He reminds me of like. I can't say Dirk because he don't remind me of Dirk.
No. Boogie.
Not even.
Nah, because Boogie offensively was
Boogie
insane
was
too.
a problem. He's a big man that bothers me because he doesn't post up. He's a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
He does nothing different from Jason Tatum.
And
Besides,
they're
he doesn't
gonna
dribble and all that. Like
they're gonna have to pay him too.
you got to pay him, and you already got Al Horford, and you got Robert Williams. So you're gonna put Kristaps Porzingis at the 4. You got Jason Tatum at the 4. What you gonna do?
Jason Tatum plays a 4?
Plays a 4.
I thought he was a 3.
No,
He plays power 4.
he played the 4. And you know, basketball nowadays is
Big
spread
man.
out.
Yeah. That's
you know,
weird.
they don't really play with too many bigs because it was it Robert Williams and Al Horford starting?
I think it was Al Horford. I think he started.
And then Robert Williams. So yeah, those two played. They might have switched in the playoffs, but Jaylen Brown as the 2. But now you don't have Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
You got Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon's good on defense, but he's not Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
And Marcus Smart was the hardest soul of the team. That's like trading away Draymond Green.
Who declined his player option?
He did. But he can either go to a different team or he can opt in and get a different
Contract from the Warriors.
Different contract, and now they just got CP3.
Yeah, that's another trade I was going to talk about. Wizards trading Chris Paul to the Warriors and the Warriors sending over Jordan Poole and a 2030 first-round pick.
It's tough because Jordan Poole, don't get me wrong, he is not a weak player, nothing. He's nice. But
I don't like him.
yeah, most people don't like him. But I ain't really.
I just like the memes.
I think he changed when he got paid.
That's so true. I forgot he got all that
He
money.
got a lot of money, but it just got off their books, so it helped a lot. I think it was like 140 million.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But he got his money, but now he's about to go play for a team that's not gonna
Contend at all.
contend. He's gonna get his stats. He's gonna get paid more, but he ain't gonna be competing for championships.
Yeah, this is
like,
a
what do
money
you play
bag.
basketball for? Like that's, in my mind, that's what I play basketball
For
for.
championship.
Obviously, I pay to get played too. I play to get paid.
But
So-
that's your inevitable goal.
Yeah,
Just win.
but I definitely want to win. What?
Yeah.
Like what? It's cool to play basketball, get paid, but if you're getting paid and you losing, that's when people start to question do they really love this? You know, Kobe was losing sometimes. He loved to play basketball.
Yeah. Biggest competitor.
LeBron lose. People still hate LeBron. Even when he win, they hate him.
Yep.
He still loves basketball. Melo never won. Still
People
love
love him.
basketball. So
Yeah.
I think the trade Chris Paul to the Warriors is beneficial for Steph Curry out of all people.
Because he gets to sit
he
by. He
doesn't-
gets to sit. He gets resting time.
He gets resting time, but here and there because Chris Paul, hopefully he stays healthy. But Chris Paul is gonna play the one. And
Yeah.
It's most beneficial for Steph Curry because he's a shooter. You can slide him to the 2.
And then Klay Thompson to the 3.
Play Thompson to the 3, and then if they keep Draymond, Draymond's
can be
gonna
a
play
4.
the 5.
Five.
Wiggins is gonna start at the
Oh, yep.
Or you can have Wiggins come off the bench now and put Kevin Looney in at the 5 and put Draymond
Draymond
Green at the
4.
4. Either way, you have to have Draymond Green.
Have
If you don't
you-
have Draymond Green, you're not winning nothing.
Have you seen I don't know if you've been in depth in that Twitter, Jonathan Kuminga for the
Mhm.
Warriors. People say he's grown 7 inches in the last year and a half.
I don't believe it.
So now he's like 7'1".
It don't matter. He's still gonna be on the bench. I don't care how much he grew.
I've
Can't
s-
you
that's-
hoop?
He was in the G League for a while.
He ain't weak either. I think he started with the G League Ignite, but he didn't play against the Lakers in the playoffs.
I think one person that makes me super sad that he's not the same anymore is James Wiseman.
Wiseman, yeah, he
He
don't play
makes
for
me
them no more.
yeah, he makes me so sad. He was the number 2 pick.
He's injured though.
I know, but they sent him to the G League, which is like
No, they sent him. Yeah, they sent him to the G League, but he's in the NBA now. He's back. He's playing with the Pistons.
he got sent to the Pistons.
Yeah. So I think he was actually playing better when he went to the Pistons.
Yeah, but usually people send people to the G League if you're if you're not a lottery pick or second rounder. I've never seen a number 2 go to the G League.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy when, that's one thing about going to Canada. You getting hurt, it's out of your control, and you can't control what happens next.
Yeah.
So it's not crazy because of the business of basketball. We can sit here and wait for this guy to get healthy, but if he's healthy and he's not contributing, how much value is he? Would you rather have Kevin Looney or would you rather have James Wiseman?
Because
I'm asking you.
because he's proven already, I'd rather have Kevin Looney. Defensively
Kevin Looney
and rebounding wise, Kevin Looney is crazy.
Yeah.
He's I don't know.
At this point, James Wiseman wasn't more valuable than Andrew Bogut when Andrew Bogut played for them.
Yeah.
So it's just it is what it is.
And then before we wrap this up, I need predictions next season. Eastern Conference, Western Conference winners who meets in the finals next year.
NBA?
Yep.
Who meets in the finals next year?
I'm gonna ask him the same questions too, so you better start thinking. That's another thing though.
See, but we gotta wait for all these different deals and people. To
Yeah, it is
sign.
pretty early in like the off season, but
Finals.
And the draft.
and the draft.
Draft tonight?
Yeah, that's tonight too.
Yeah.
You think Victor Wembanyama is going to win?
Yeah. What?
Who's
if you
going-
Don't go one, you stupid.
Hey, put that bet on it.
I've seen a lot of people talk about. I think I saw a poll today. Victor Wembanyama had like a 75% chance to go 1, which is like true.
It's a
Like
100% chance.
100% chance he's going 1 because
If the Spurs pick anybody else, they have completely messed up their draft and their future for the next 50
Yeah.
years.
But I saw another thing too, where it's like all the repeating history. Back in like '97, whenever Tim Duncan got drafted,
Yep.
they needed a big man. Ended up getting 5-time NBA champion Tim Duncan.
And he had a whole bunch of different teammates that helped him out along the
Yeah.
way. He got drafted there. He playing with David Robinson, and then you got
Manu
Tony
and
Parker,
Tony
you
Parker,
got Manu
Kawhi,
Ginobili, Kawhi, Bruce Bowen, all the
Danny,
people.
his name?
You should see the merch I got.
He's a shooter. Forgot. Danny Green.
Danny Green was on that team. Yeah, I forgot.
Yep. And then but now they're like, oh, it's repeating history, blah blah. But I've seen a lot of people say Scoot Henderson and Brandon Miller could be 2 and 3. Scoot Henderson plays in the G League right now. He's built like a absolute beast.
Yeah.
And then Brandon Miller, I think he plays for Bama.
Yeah,
he went to
did.
Bama.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of tape on both of them, and they're both pretty crazy. But Victor Wembanyama is gonna be number 1. Didn't he opt out of the draft and then he came back to the draft?
I'm gonna predict it. It's gonna be Victor, Brandon Miller from Alabama, and then Scoop.
Is it gonna be 1, 2, 3?
Yep, in that order.
Okay.
If the Hornets pass on Brandon Miller, that's a big mistake.
Okay. And then
Those are the only 3 people I know in the draft.
that's pretty true, yeah.
Yeah.
And then NBA Finals. It's the way people call this the way too early predictions.
Way too early.
Way too early predictions. Just you can say any team. I guarantee you nobody's gonna look at you crazy because it's literally been a week and a half since the NBA season ended.
Lakers for the West, and the East, I'll put. For damn sure not the Celtics.
For the favorites.
Yeah. Damn. In the East. I'll just say the Miami Heat.
Lakers Heat.
Lakers Heat.
2024 Finals. Who wins it?
The Lakers.
Lakers and what?
Lakers in 6.
Okay. I'm gonna go Nuggets for the West. I think they're gonna be a dynasty for a while. And then I'm gonna go Celtics.
Why do you think they're gonna be dynasty for a while?
Bro, Jokic and Murray are way too good as teammates. If they keep that same roster with the same coach and play the same way they just did, they don't have to change anything. They only lost 3 games in the playoffs. 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, but
And look at the teams they played. They played the Suns. They swept the Lakers. They played the Heat, who were the 8 seed, which is like, oh, they're the 8 seed. They're supposed to win. But they also beat the 1 seed, the 2 seed.
so whose path was harder? The Lakers, even though they lost to the Nuggets, or the Nuggets?
I would say Lakers. Lakers had the harder path. Because who did they play the first round? They played the Grizzlies in the first round. No, they didn't. Yeah, they did. Played Grizzlies in the first round. Second round was Warriors. Third round with the Nuggets. I think the Lakers had definitely the harder path.
I think the Nuggets just had a well-rounded, healthy team all year.
Yeah.
With a vet and KCP and Jeff Green.
Jeff Green and Ish Smith.
Yeah, Ish Smith. I forgot about him. Reggie Jackson was on the team too.
Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon. I guess you can consider him a vet now. And he had a dominant player in Jokic.
Yeah.
But I think if you had somebody to match besides LeBron, like if you had a point guard to match with Jamal Murray, they lose. I don't care how good they were. I just, in my opinion, I don't think so. Even somebody like Rondo.
Yeah.
Rondo could have slowed him down. But Jamal Murray. He gonna get a bucket, but if the Lakers had like Kyrie Irving or like somebody like Donovan Mitchell or something, you just need somebody to match Murray. If you don't, then it's a wrap. They just had a better team. They were the best team in the league all year.
Okay. And then last question. Super Bowl champion. Who's that? AFC, NFC
AFC.
winners. Who meets in the Super Bowl? Who wins the Super Bowl?
Crazy, bro. Man, AFC. Don't get happy, bro. I'm not saying the Dolphins right this second, but
I'm fine with
It's a
that.
team.
I probably wouldn't even say him.
I think. Damn. It depends. 'Cause
AFC is harder than the NFC.
if the
100%.
Jets get who I think they about to get,
Who?
DeAndre Hopkins.
They're not signing DeAndre.
I'm just
Hopkins.
telling you.
I guarantee.
I'm just saying.
I think DeAndre
Patriots.
Hopkins. I was gonna say.
That's why I wanted to go
I think DeAndre Hopkins. The best three teams he can fit with are the Patriots, the Packers, and the Chiefs.
Why the hell would he go to the Chiefs?
Because that's such
That'd
an
be dirty.
easy route for him.
Nah, no, that's my point. Why
But he
would
also
go?
would fit so
Salary
well.
cap, though.
Yeah, the salary cap obviously wouldn't work. I'm just
That's
saying.
just like the trade we was just talking about. Like, why did Bradley Beal go to the Phoenix Suns? Like, why?
No, it would be better for him because he's a Z receiver. He's a deep threat.
Bro,
Mahomes
he's gonna
has
be
the
the number-
strongest arm in the league.
Who does?
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, why would he go there though? He's gonna be the number one option.
He's gonna be the number one option.
Exactly. Why did they need him?
So it'll be so much easier to win a Super Bowl. That will be the best fit for him. I think them or besides the Patriots.
It depends on if Stephon Diggs.
He's staying in Buffalo.
I would hope so.
He's gonna stay there.
He worked his way there, so I would hope so. But
Yeah.
I can't think of all the teams right now in the NFL. The AFC. Name some AFC teams.
In the East, we got Jets, Bills, Patriots, Dolphins. The West, Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, Chargers. The North is the Browns, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers. And then the South is the Titans, Jags, Texans, Colts.
I'm going to take this. Too early. I ain't betting against the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs in the AFC.
That's an easy pick.
Chiefs
NFC.
versus this is way too early prediction. NFC. It's tough. I'm gonna go with my team.
The Vikings?
Yep.
Chiefs, Vikings? Who wins it?
Chiefs.
All right. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back eventually
Yep.
with Ryan, hopefully. Joe, appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
It is Daniels. And he's anxiously waiting
Yep.
with his comic book button up.
I'm gonna jump in his episode too.
So,
Cotton candy
appreciate
over
you.
Yes, sir.
there. Oh, you need to flip it wrong. No, Andrew's professional, man.
You too, my boy.
That's it.